Welcome to New York's number 2 sports show. The New York Rangers defeat the Nashville Predators 4-3. Rangers did not play well in the first period at all, and Peter Laviolette made line changes going into the second period, and those paid dividends against a Nashville Predator team that came off a 6-1 loss to the Minnesota Wild at home. So in previewing this game last episode, that Nashville-Minnesota game had not happened yet. So that concerned me. The fact that the last time the Rangers played the Predators, they came off of a blowout loss. But the Rangers found a way. And it was satisfying considering the fact that Nashville came into MSG earlier in the season and took it to them. And that's, again, just avenging that game. And while it might be far-fetched, I think it'd be pretty cool if the Rangers, this season can at least get a point against every team in the NHL. Now, obviously, that's tough versus the West because you only play them twice, right? So, for example, they'll have one more crack at it with Dallas at home after already losing them. But that's here nor there. Really, Rangers were bad in the first period. Nashville was the quicker team. Rangers' bad turnovers just, didn't look good. And Laviolette makes line changes. And let's discuss what those were. So, as you know, the original four had been pretty much in place for a while now, right? The original four was Kreider, Zibanejad, Wheeler, Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere, Cooley, Bonino, Brodzinski, and Vesey, Goodrow, Pitlick. Now, it is, and again, these changes were made in the second period. The lines were Panarin, Zibanejad, Lafreniere, which actually I didn't think was all that great. The line that was really, really good was Kreider, Trocheck, Brodzinski. And so a couple of things with that. Vinny Trocheck was really the person that was the driving force in this win. He had 3 points. He was involved in the game-winning goal as well, even though, he doesn't get any credit on the score sheet. And Jonny Brodzinski looked good. Showing some speed. He looked actually good in a top 6 role as compared to, let's say, Blake Wheeler. So now that next line was Vesey, Goodrow, Wheeler. And then the fourth, and again, the numbering is tough. I'll consider that the third line. And the fourth line was Cooley, Bonino, and Pitlick. So these changes helped. And again, not in the way that you would think, right? Okay, so now Panarin, Zibanejad, Lafreniere, they're going to go off. That wasn't the case. Vincent Trocheck continues to draw. Great on faceoffs. Just was very impressed by his play in this game in all facets. He was just a pest, annoying to the Predators, and it showed. And that's Laviolette, just having a pulse, having a feel for his team, and knowing that a change needed to be made, and he made it. And look, now they'll probably just continue with those lines moving forward, I would think. Now, this is a new situation, but it worked out well. So starting tomorrow versus the Sharks, expect to see these same lines. But it was interesting in terms of who did well and who didn't. It was a little bit different. Brodzinski, I thought, was really good. On the flip side, Lafreniere, who has been fantastic, was a little more quiet tonight. Same that really all three of those, Panarin, Zibanejad, and Lafreniere, I kind of felt like didn't have the greatest game. But different people stepped up, and that was good to see. So, and hey, Adam Fox with 3 assists, and it was a quiet 3 assists, but nonetheless, it counts. So, a gutsy effort, and Igor Shesterkin, I think, is a really big story here. Igor, let's see what the final stats are for him. He made 36 saves on 39 shots and just got better as the game went on. Look, he gave up 2 goals in the first, 1 in the second, but the one thing with Igor is there's a clutch factor there. There really is, especially in situations where it's he's given up a lot of goals, 3. He gives up 2 goals through 1, 3 through 2, and he especially bears down, I think even in those situations even more so, when he feels as if, maybe he hasn't done so well. He can quickly just flip the switch. I've been impressed by that with him since he came into the league, where nothing really phases him. And so another situation where Igor, it's not as if he only gave up 1 goal, 2 goals. He gave up 3, but even still was a major, major factor in this victory. Kevin Lankinen was in net for Nashville, who I believe also was in net for that MSG game. I don't believe that the Rangers faced UC Saros in either game. But Nashville was, I mean, if you're Nashville, that's a tough one. Coming off of that bad loss to Minnesota, they really played very well. And just the Rangers have just been finding ways to win. They improved to 17-4-1, which is just ridiculous and crazy. So, and now you have a game home against the Sharks tomorrow, and the Sharks just beat New Jersey for their first road win. I kind of like that. I mean, on the one hand, sure, the Sharks can maybe build some momentum, but I didn't want to somehow be the team that broke that streak. Very happy the Devils did it. So, but anyway, let's get into this game. Lineup was the same. As far as Igor going, there was thought that maybe be Quick. Based on the way practice went yesterday, it kind of appeared as if maybe Quick would get the nod, but they go Shesterkin, and I think that was the right call. And so now Quick will play against the Sharks. I wouldn't have had a major problem if they went either way, but as it turns out, I definitely think that this was the correct decision. But Zach Jones continues to be the only healthy scratch. So, like I said, Rangers get off to a really, really rocky start. They weren't fast, bad turnovers, just, however you want to look at it, was not a great first period for the New York Rangers. They were outshot 17-8, and I don't even think that tells the whole story. Like, it was bad. So, where do we begin? I guess let's start off with the goal. So the Rangers really hadn't been playing well to start, but they catch a bad break where a Rangers clear to the neutral zone goes off of the ref, and it puts the Rangers end up making a bad change as a result of that. They probably should have maybe saw it through a little bit longer than they did, but they jumped off and caused a bad change, and Ryan O'Reilly kind of comes in all alone and snaps it past Shesterkin for O'Reilly's 11th goal of the season, assisted by Foudy and Tomasino. So the Predators take a 1-0 lead at 6:19. And then a tripping penalty by Barclay Goodrow at 14:15. So Goodrow, who I feel has been taking a decent amount of penalties lately, although I do feel like Goodrow's game has been solid, but certainly not for his cap hit. But the Predators score on that power play. Roman Josi scores his 5th goal of the season from Nyquist and O'Reilly at 15:52. So just like that, 2-0 Nashville. And now we head into the second period, and Laviolette makes the changes to the lines. And the line he starts out with was a line that all three players came from different lines. It was Kreider, Trocheck, and Brodzinski. Now, I like the chemistry that Kreider and Trocheck showed last year. Like, I don't have a huge problem breaking up Zibanejad and Kreider, just saying. And immediately, 31 seconds in, Jacob Trouba scores his 2nd goal of the season from Trocheck and Brodzinski. So it's Brodzinski's first point of the season. He wouldn't be done there. And it's Trouba's first non-empty net goal of the year. So he kind of jumps into the play. Really nice pass from behind the net by Trocheck. And the Rangers cut it to 2-1. Then Ryan Lindgren takes a hooking penalty at 2:42. Rangers kill it off. And then at 6:50, too many men on the ice penalty on Nashville. So the Rangers get their first power play. However, really poor work by the first unit. Just kind of sloppy and bad between Fox, Zibanejad, Trocheck. And it ends up leading to a breakaway for Colton Sissons, and he scores. So Sissons scores his 7th goal of the season from Trennan, shorthanded, makes it 3-1. So that could have been a total backbreaker. However, just after the too many men on the ice penalty had expired, 2 seconds after, Chris Kreider scores his 14th goal of the season from Trocheck and Fox. Really nice effort by Kreider as the puck was in the, he's stopped initially by Lankinen, then the puck's in the air and he bats it in. So makes it 3-2, which was really important. And then Nashville takes another penalty. Parssinen boards Nick Bonino, who is wearing that neck guard, the first Ranger to do so since the death of Adam Johnson. And Bonino, a former Predator, had a decent enough game, draws this penalty here, and the Rangers score on the power play to tie it up. Vincent Trocheck is the goal scorer. It's his 6th goal of the season from Zibanejad and Fox. Just a redirection where Zibanejad puts it towards Trocheck's stick, and he tips it in from the high slot, and it ties it up at 3. And that was big. So the power play, that was the only chances that they would have. But in essence, they came through. They kind of went 2-1. I'll count that Kreider goal as basically a power play goal. So that was very important to get that. Lindgren would take another penalty. He high sticks Sherwood at 13:42, but the Rangers kill that off. So the Ranger penalty kill got better after they gave up that power play goal in the first period off the Goodrow penalty. So end of 2, it's 3-3. And then the Rangers take a penalty at 2:24. Will Cooley high sticks Michael McCarron. And for Cooley, again, I feel like his play has dipped a bit. It is what it is. You still got to stick with him, but just calling it as I see it. I feel like, his play has not been quite as crisp of late, but, you're still going to roll him out there, and you should. So, and now, Cooley's ice time won't change much, but, now he's on a line with Bonino and Pitlick. Well, I guess he was always on a line with Bonino anyway, so not really a huge change there. But the Rangers at 5:10 score, and it's Ryan Lindgren's first goal of the season from Fox and Brodzinski. So that's Fox's 3rd assist of the night, Brodzinski's 2nd assist of the night. And Lindgren just puts this towards, I guess, the net. And Trocheck was battling with Lauzon, the Predator defenseman. I think it goes off of Lauzon's stick or skate and in. When it first happened, I thought maybe it went off of Trocheck, but he did a good job of just trying to get positioning. And so it ends up being Lindgren's goal. So in this game, you get Trouba's first non-empty net goal, Lindgren's first goal, a couple of assists, the first points of the season for Brodzinski. So again, just different people contributing. But like I said, I think Trocheck for me is the main skater that really drove this win home. And then it was a very chaotic remainder. The rest of the game, Igor had to make a lot of good saves. I still thought the Rangers had a good third period. It's not as if they sat back or anything. But, this was, again, a really good win, considering the fact that, hey, Rangers have only had a few losses this season. One of them to Nashville at home. I really wanted them to win this game and walk away from this with... After the first period, it looked like, wow, Nashville is just going to wipe the floor at the Rangers, but they did not allow that to happen, and just shows just the heart of this team, because it's really, really apparent. So now you head home to face the Sharks, and you can't take them lightly, A, and B, I guess there's a little concern of, hey, like, this was an emotional game, really quick turnaround, but I'd like to think that even if the Rangers don't play their best game tomorrow, if they can get some good goaltending from Jonathan Quick, that they'll be able to find a way to beat the San Jose Sharks. David Quinn will be back in town. And so, we'll see how that game goes. But again, give credit to Peter Laviolette for making the necessary changes after that first period. So again, New York Rangers with the comeback win, they defeat the Nashville Predators 4-3.